Okay, so this makes the third part to the video. The JB weld. Well, let me rephrase real quick. Someone walked out, so they were talking to me, so I had to pause. And apparently there was no pause. So we're picking up on a third video. Here we are. JB weld comes in a package kind of like this. It comes in little tubes. Obviously, this ain't that, but it comes in a similar package like this. And you get like a middle metal thing to go along with it. That's, god dang it. Alright, that's about, how much is that? That's about an inch. So you get metal things about an inch, about that big, and another green, kind of like a green scratch pad. If you don't know what I mean by scratch pad, then you're SOL, because I don't know how to explain that. Sorry. Um, yeah, I can't think of a way to describe that. So, anyways, that's basically a cement weld, if you will. Some of JB weld isn't always cement weld, but it is like a strong glue in a sense, like unnaturally strong. Um, this time I can tell because it switched cameras and whatever for this video. So once it hits 34 minutes and 58 seconds, excuse me, video will cut off automatically, but I should be able to finish by then. If not, I'll be pretty close and I'll make it into 4 parts. Yay! Well, anyways, let's continue once again. This might not be uploaded. The third part might not be uploaded till tomorrow. Yay! What was supposed to take an hour took 1, 2, 3 days. JB Weld, that's where we left off. Great, that was 128. Number 129, industrial access keys. Now, when I first heard this, I had an idea of what that was, but I wasn't quite for sure. Industrial access keys, well, obviously they're keys. You know what a key is. So, what they are is you go, hell, you're in Walmart. Alright, you're in Walmart and you have to go to the little person's room. I don't know who you are, male or female. I don't care either. If you like identification wise. Anyways, you go into the little person's room and that's wait, I just realized how messed up that sounded. I'm gonna go with it. You anyways, you're in the restroom and little person's room. And you're wiping up and see that little box there that has little toilet paper rolls in it, or those gigantic toilet paper rolls in some cases. The industrial access keys can access that. Well, one of them can. Some can access janitor closets. Some can access paper towel things. The reason why you want that, I mean, like, yeah, you could bust it open. You could bring a hammer, but one with the access keys, if you're trying to be quiet and you're on a search and retrieve mission for TP, you can be quieter, you can be faster, and you can be in and out of there no problem. And so no one will hear you. You'll take less time doing it, as long as you know which key you're looking for. Maybe have a certain way to mark it, or hopefully it's every key's different and you have them memorized. And so there you can start doing stuff like that. Anyways, oh, and they're pretty darn cheap. Of what I've heard, I haven't looked at prices. I've heard they're just pretty cheap, and they're only little bits of metal. So, cheap Chinese metal these days are, well, cheap, cheap on the wallet and cheaply made, but they're keys, and those keys work. Number 130, water main tools. Let's keep this list on trucking. So water main tools, so you can shut off your water, and you don't have to rely on the water company to rack up debt. So when Uncle Sam decides to pull his stuff back together again, you don't have to worry about a ridiculous water bill. I mean, you think they're gonna let that slide? Nope. Nope, they're gonna squeeze every cent out of you as soon as they get back on working and trucking again. just something to keep in mind. Also, when I say water main tools, if you go to, certain houses or even certain industrial buildings, they have those spigots on the side, but you can't turn them unless you have a certain handle. That's what I'm talking about. Get some of those, or get some tools to shut off your water yourself, so you don't, again, ridiculous water bills. Um, I know it's kind of a petty thing, but it's really not. Because when the country does find its way back to normalcy, freaking 50 years later, they're gonna be like, "Hey, would you look at that? We're gonna squeeze every little penny out of you guys again." So that's what they're gonna do. That's what government does. Gas valve shutoff, number 131. Um, Same concept. Um, or again, if you go to another building and no one has a way to turn on or off the gas in this other building, you'll be able to get some gas again, like propane, maybe if a house or industrial building has it, and they weren't able to get it out, and the residents have passed on. Well, now you just got yourself a couple 100 gallons of propane. If you can transport it. Number 132, WD-40 / lubricants. We're getting into car stuff, and I'll explain all the car stuff once I've gone through all the parts and products. Um, I'll explain why I put these in here. But WD-40 lubricants, 132, yep. Well, you know what WD-40 does. Squeaky hinges, I don't know. No, it's better. They have more uses than that. So, I didn't say that yet, so I'll wait to the end. Anyways, WD-40 lubricants, Number 133, engine oil. And before we go down the list again, I know I'm stopping too much. Engine oil. That's obviously for a car, but if you happen to have a blacksmith, they're going to be very, very happy if you have a lot of engine oil on hand, or just even a 5-gallon bucket worth. Because if you don't know, after you have built something out of scrap metal, or whatever you could find out there in the wasteland, uh, you're going to need to coat it with engine oil. And the reason for this is so it doesn't rust. Now, I don't know how this works exactly. I'm assuming it fills in the pores of the metals. But what I'm saying is when I say I don't understand how it works is you only have to coat it once, and it's good for years and years and years unless you sit it out in the lawn. But you're not gonna sit an axe head or a sword out in the lawn. You're gonna keep track of something your blacksmith makes for you. Because he's the blacksmith. Or she. Excuse me. Whatever. Okay. I won't stop until I finish with the engine ports. Car parts. 134, antifreeze. 135, tires. 136, gas treatment. 137, fuel injector cleaner. 138, brake parts cleaner. 139, engine degreaser. Number 140, starting fluid. Number 141, carb/choke and parts cleaner. Number 142, power steering fluid. Number 143, brake fluid. Number 44, two-stroke oil. Number 45, oil treatment. Number 146, spare vehicle parts. Number 147 is knives. Okay, so the vehicle parts. Obviously, if it's SHTF, your car ain't gonna run. Why do you want to have all this stuff? Like I said, this was geared towards homesteads and compounds. Most homesteads will not have the ability to keep this going, but most compounds will have the ability to keep their vehicles running. And you're going to ask, well, how are they going to do that without gasoline? And there's actually two answers to that question. Three, if you're a genius. Let's start with the genius answer. I don't know if you know this, and you might not believe me, but there's a way, and I don't know it, so don't ask me, but there's a way to make your car run on water. That sounds completely ridiculous to someone who's never heard it, and those who have heard it still think it's ridiculous. And I've seen it done. I have seen it myself done. The thing is, those people got a visit from the government of America. And they were shut the fuck up. Pardon my French, but that's a serious thing. So I'm not afraid to use those words. And they were shut up by the government because they made their car run on water, and the government wants more money from you, so they're not going to release that to the public. Um, so that's the genius way. If you're a freaking genius and you figure that out, good luck with that. I'm not a car person, so that's not my forte. So the government, don't worry about me. I won't figure it out. I don't know how a car works. Um, I admit it. I don't. I'm not a mechanic, at the slightest. The other two ways, um, which is another smart way, but not quite as smart, is gasification. I think that's the correct term. Gasification is the process, if you don't know, where basically you make a fire out of wood, and then there's a little tube running from that fire that goes into a jar, and that jar gets loaded with a liquid. I was going to say fluid and liquid, and it almost came out as a cuss word. I don't know how that happened, but it comes out as a liquid. I don't know how that works. I haven't worked the logic, but there's a way to do that, and it's public knowledge, and anyone can have it, unlike the water thing. Um, but yeah, and so you can have infinite fuel as long as you have wood to burn. Um, I don't know if it can be treated wood or not. But as far as I know, as far as I know, it can be both. But it might only be natural wood that hasn't been treated with chemicals. But I don't know, so don't quote me. And the third way, which is the most prominent way, I'm going to use two of those ways. On just not the water one. I can't do that, like I said. But I'm going to figure out the gasification and also biodiesel. Um, I plan on having mostly diesel vehicles that can run on biodiesel, and I'm gonna make my own diesel. And if you have the fuel, then after that, as long as you have the fuel, you need to just maintain the car. Once you maintain the car, if you have extra of all those parts, hell, if you get a vehicle that's made from the 80s and before, yeah, they have a lot of miles on them, but parts on them don't break. Want to know the reason why those cars from 1940s are still around? Because they don't break. Unless you leave them sitting out in a yard for 50 more years. Then, yeah, they're rust buckets, and that's the television stuff, because most of them didn't care about their vehicles because they were so cheap, so they just left them out in the lawn. That was a mistake. But those of them that were kept in a garage, some of them temperature controlled, but most garages are nowadays. Maybe not most, but a lot, or easily just open the house door to the garage and it'll cool up or heat up, cool down or heat up, either way, in a couple of minutes by doing just that. So those lasted because they don't break. If you take care of something, it's going to last you. Even in today's world, if you take care of something the proper way, even if it's made in frickin' China, except headphones, apparently. I have no luck with those. But the sweatshirt, I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now, and I think it was made in China. I don't remember. I'm not going to take it off and look. I've had this going on 4 years, and it's only recently getting a little tore up because of some kittens. Hence the name Prepper Cat. Anyways, moving on from that rant, that could be a video of its own. Actually, it just might be. Where was I? I apologize for the rant, but I wanted to give you some reasons for the list of things, if I could. Number 147, knives, such as box, pocket, filleting, skinning knives. Now, okay, you don't need a pocket, oh, scratch that, you're gonna need a pocket knife, but you won't need a box knife, a filleting knife, or a skinning knife. Won't need them. Pocket knives can do all of those jobs. It's just, if you're not experienced in filleting a fish or skinning any animal, a rabbit, a squirrel, whatever the stuff you killed, hunted. I'm trying not to cuss. I'm a good person. Oh man, sorry. I try not to cuss. Um, you again, unless you're experienced, then you're gonna want these other knives because they're specifically meant for them, and it's easier to do it with. Um, so if you can, stock up on a bunch of different types of knives. If you can't, if all you can purchase is pocket knives because you can't find filleting knives unless you go to your local chef store and one filleting knife is like $30, don't worry about it. Buy a bunch of pocket knives. You might not need all these pocket knives to last you your life, but one thing you can do with them, you can trade them. It's not ammo. You're not trading ammo. You're just trading a knife. I'm not saying it can't be used against you, but yeah, it's a nicer thing to know that they don't have your ammo. Continuing on, trying not to rant again. Number 148, scissors. Number 149, swords. Hopefully from your blacksmith, but if not, purchase them now if you have the extra cash. Oh, trying not to go on a rant, but here it goes. Swords. Um, Now some people, especially new preppers, excuse me, I'm having a little bit of a problem here. Swords. A lot of people, and by a lot of people, I actually mean a lot of people. Sorry for so much camera shake. By a lot of people, I mean a lot of people practice with swords, daggers, and bows and arrows. Ancient weapons. A lot of people practice with them. Um, and they're usually not heard about because they don't have a YouTube channel because they're usually known as freaking nerds. But the thing is, there's a skill behind it, and once the ammo runs out, you're gonna have a club. So why not buy or make a club that's meant to be a club? Because if it's a long enough event, you will run out of ammo from hunting, from defending yourself, from all of the above. Um, Sorry about that rant again. Number 150, Axes, Estwing Axes. That's a brand name. It's a very good brand. Not the best, but it's a very good one. I've heard it shakes your arms a lot because it's a full metal tang. Excuse me, and all that crap. Excuse me, but really good at chopping wood if you got the arms for it. Also axes, battle axes. Same reason for the swords. Um, oh, which, sorry, not ranting. Um, and I don't mean to brag, but I've had some practice with battle axes, and I got used to. I didn't practice any specific known art like swordsmanship, but I've practiced with people who also didn't practice an actual swordsmanship class. If that makes any sense. I know I said that kind of weird, but I've fought with them. Um, not not actual metal ones, but I've come close to breaking bones with the ones that we had. Um, I got bruised up a couple times, real bad. But I've been in a few brawls. Don't mean to brag. I apologize. This list has gone straight off a bit. Number 151, daggers. Um, Real quick, speaking of weapons, you're gonna also want a shield. If you plan on having swords and battle axes and daggers, you're gonna want a shield. No reason, no explanation needed for that one. 152, saws. Just a reminder, when it hits 34 minutes and 58 seconds, it's out. Right now we're at 19 minutes and 4 seconds. I said saws, 152. Number 153, bows and arrows. Already talked about that a little bit. 154, bolts. 159. 59. Sorry, 154 bolts. 155, nuts. And I'm talking about the construction bolts and nuts. 156, door/gate hinges. Again, construction reasons. Number 157, washers. Again, if you're not big into carpenter and carpentering, am I saying that right? I don't think I am. Or if you're not a construction worker, I don't mean the washers that wash your clothes. I mean they're little round circles with holes in them in the center. And when you're using those for construction, that helps keep, if I'm not mistaken, that helps keep the bolt or screw in place, as also acts as a seal, I believe, but I don't remember at this moment. It's getting late again. 158 clamps, and by that I mean just tool clamps. Tell you what, I'll get up and I'll show you. I know where the clamps are, so this won't take long at all. Also plug in the light, and I'll show you a washer since that was just the one before it. So I'll do that first. Fuck. There we go. And there goes my glasses. That is a washer. Many different shapes, different sizes, different size holes. They're not all the same size of a hole. Maybe smaller, larger. Just depends on the washer. Sure, don't step on my glasses. There we go. Those fell off. Oh, I need to get a string and tighten around so I can have it behind my head. They don't fall off. Oh, what was I talking about? Oh, clamps. Let's move that out of the way. Which drawer was it? Oh. Ah. You're not likely to find clamps of this size anymore, because they don't make them, to my knowledge. But if you can get the little ones, get them, because they're rare, let's be honest. But they have a lot bigger ones, and that's the clamp I was talking about. If you can come up with something else, good job. Go back down here. What did I see? I'm just showing you this one for fun. Giant wrench. What size is that? Whoop! Almost dropped it. 15/16. Come on, focus. There you go. See? 15/16. Huge freaking. You can use those to break locks. The ones that you break with bolt cutters. You can look videos up on it if you're interested in that. If you don't have bolt cutters, grab a couple of wrenches and you can break yourself one of these locks. You can break them with those. As you can see, I tried doing it with this one. This one's a better brand. But you can see how it bulges out. Focus, focus, focus. Sorry, I'm being weird. I'm doing it for fun, I guess. Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to show you how it bent it was, I suppose. I need to freaking hurry this up. I does apologize. I say that too much, don't I? Well, maybe I should stop doing things that make me apologize. How about that? Number 159, zip ties. You can use those as handcuffs, or, I hate myself, I use zip ties for something else. You can keep wires together, or, can I turn on the flashlight? Nope, no I can't. You can't see it, can you? Wait, maybe if I, oh wait, how about this? There, now you can see it. I've got 3 zip ties looped together on one of these hooks. Focus. 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 You can see what kind of hook that is, right? Just a little loop hook. And the reason why I did that, you can put this right. Oh, come on. Sorry. Like that. The reason why I did it like that, one, it locks the door from the other side, but that's not the purpose, is because this little stairwell was homemade, along with that door. The door wasn't homemade, but behind it is a pantry that was homemade. And the thing with that is the wind. The wind, even with all the doors shut, will blow that door open. So if someone's out here and the door isn't locked on the inside, lock it on the outside and it won't open. So be creative. That's my laptop. Hey, okay, I'll try not to. You little pain in the bum. Let's go back up. Where was it? Sorry, it did the thing on me. There it goes. Okay, we're good. Okay, I promise I won't get up unless I really think it's necessary this time. Let's continue. Number 160, slingshots and ammo for them. Number 161, contractor trash bags, some with bright colors like orange and yellow. Again, a bazillion uses in one with those. I'll make videos, maybe, on each item and go through. I'll scour the internet for each use for each item, and I'll make a video on each item. That's a lot of videos. Well, each item that needs explaining, I'll do a video on. I'll see if there's, look, I mentioned, there's 2 uses for wrenches I know of. Breaking the locks, that I showed you. I didn't show you how to do that, but it's easy to find out. And it's a wrench. Use them what they're meant to be used for. But what I'll do is, I'll look up uses for wrenches, and if I come across something that's really cool, or just a bunch of different random uses, I'll make a video on it. Something like that. That's what I mean. But if there's no interesting uses, won't do it. The contractor bags, the reason why the bright colors, the reason why I mentioned that specifically is you can use those as signaling, or so you don't lose something per se, or you want something to easily be found, whether it be good for the person that's finding it or not. Like fill a orange bag with tannerite, and once your enemy gets close to it, you could shoot it. But I'm not giving you ideas. That was yours. Uh, don't do that. Don't do that. You didn't get it from me. I didn't tell you to do it. I just said you could. Oh man, I'm in a good mood. Number 162. I hope I gave you a laugh. Sandwich, gallon, and shopping bags. Uh, Again, if you want to keep some bolts, nuts, washers together, good ideas, gallon bags. Same idea, keep some stuff together. The shopping bags. When I say shopping bags, you can get fabric ones, but that's not what I'm talking about for shopping bags this time around. But an idea, fabric shopping bags. The plastic ones from like Walmart or Hy-Vee. If you don't know what a Hy-Vee is, that's basically not a Walmart in your area, because there's a Walmart in every frickin' town. They're invading us. So, the reason why I want to save those is from a person online I got the idea from. I can't take credit for it. You get these plastic bags and you put them over your dishes. So you didn't stock up on your paper plates, right? This is your plate. You put your Walmart bag on top of your plate. So you can put the food on the plastic. So when you're done eating, you can take off the plastic bag and throw it away, or do something else with it if you think you can do something else for that. And so you don't have your paper plates, so you don't have to worry about purchasing those. You can just save up on those and so forth. But paper plates and stuff like that still might be a good idea. Maybe. I don't know. You can use it for something, I'm sure. Who knows? I'll make a video on it. Let's see here. And it won't be as crappy as this video. Rather, string of videos. Number 163, sleeping bags. I'm going to hurry this list up and not give as much reasons, because I'm running out of time. And I just want to get this done as quickly as possible. 163, sleeping bags. 164, pens, colored pencils, markers, and crayons. Number 165, pencils, sharpeners, and erasers. A tactical pen. All the different colored stuff is when you get bored and you want to draw. The tactical pen, I don't like putting the word in front of anything, like the word tactical in front of anything, because it sounds tacky and stupid to me. But it has glass breaker and seatbelt cutter usually. Something to think about, and it's covert. Better, I don't know. Trying to hurry up. 166 glass breaker, 167 seatbelt cutter. If you don't like tactical pens, you just get the actual things. 168 paper, sticky notes, and write in the rain pads. So you're out on a mission and you need to write. There you go. You can write in the rain. And I think you only need a normal pencil for write in the rain pads, but don't quote me. You might need a special pencil too. I'm not sure. Number 169, glues. Number 170, rubber bands. Number 171, toothbrushes. Number 172, toothpaste. 173, floss. 174, toothpicks. 175, mouthwash. 176, cotton balls. 177, Vaseline. Put some Vaseline on a cotton ball. It's a great fire starter, and it lasts a good minute or two. 178, Q-tips cleaning out your ears. 179, brushes cleaning things. 180, combs or brushes for your hair as well. 181, nail clippers. 182, nail files. 183, nasal spray. 184, tweezers. 185, thermometers. Hopefully you can have other batteries or solar thermometers. I've got 4 minutes. 186, clothing detergents, soaps, body wash, bar soap, dish soap, and shampoo. Or if you can afford it, just buy a bunch of Dawn and use that for everything. Or a bunch of bar soaps and use that for everything. And also trade if you have a bunch. 188, feminine hygiene products. 189, diapers for babies and women. 190, solar panels and its special batteries. 191, duct tape. There's 1,001 uses for that. I will definitely make a video just for duct tape. 192, metal plumber's tape. I'll make a video on that, don't worry. I'll explain metal tape, the reason for it, the reason for every object, everything in this list. 193, aluminum foil. 194, cordage snare wire. Number 195, chains. Number 196, books of all kinds, entertainment, and how-tos. Those will be very useful, especially when you're bored and trading. 197, gold. 198, silver. I'm not a big proponent in that, but it's an idea for trade. But that's not something I'm interested in personally. 199, if you have a compound or homestead. Drones. An example, the drone X is a good drone, it seems like. So you can do surveillance like the military. 200, mice/rat traps. You can use them to bait rabbits and squirrels and things like that to eat. Do not eat mice or rats. They very much will poison you, most likely, especially if they've eaten poison before and they haven't died yet. Number 201, reading glasses and sunglasses. Number 202, sewing needles, thread, string, buttons, and diaper pins. Number 203, portable toilets. Number 204, binoculars, field of view, magnification, and tripod to stay stable, and night vision if possible. I've got time to explain that. When purchasing binoculars, you want a good field of view magnification. So you want to be able to zoom in really far, but a lot of people don't think about also is, well, I misspoke, sorry. Field of view and magnification are two separate things. You want to magnify on your object very closely, and you want a large field of view so you can see very well around it. So a lot of the ones that have large magnifications, you cannot see very far around the object, and it takes a while to look. So you want good field of view. You also want rubber eye cups for your eyes. It's easy on your eyes, and also blocks out stuff so you